Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? This is Jakejames Lugo. Welcome to the channel and welcome to a brand new episode of JJ's One Man Podcast. I've been hard at work making new videos here for the channel for you all to enjoy, but I wanted to sit down and actually have a chat about this Switch Online expansion pass, or just the expansion to the Switch Online service, because man, this thing has been a weird disaster in different ways. And granted, it's not a total disaster, because I do know that there are some people on social media talking about how they're enjoying all the new games, quote unquote new games that are offered for the Switch Online expansion pass. But let's be 1,000% here, okay? Let's be super real, super honest between all of ourselves, right? This thing is like just been a weird cavalcade of goofiness, just straight up. The main thing that I had, and I said this since day one, when this was an entire like big discussion amongst people, especially amongst Nintendo content creators and other media individuals in the games industry, this Switch Online expansion pass is not something a lot of people should be supporting. Not because I don't support Nintendo. Of course I support Nintendo, obviously. But with what we're paying for this expansion pass, is the big price jump that everybody really complained about at first, but then all of a sudden didn't have a problem with later on as this thing came out, was that it wasn't offering a lot of new stuff / interesting and important things to the Switch Online service. I always said that with the new price point, okay, I've talked about this in previous videos, I mentioned it on previous podcasts I've been on, with this new price point, there needs to be an improvement to the service itself. The quality of the service needs to be better for online games that you're playing, like Smash Brothers, like Mario Kart 8, like Splatoon 2, or anything else that you're going to be playing online on Nintendo Switch. The quality of that service with the online connections as you're playing multiplayer should be better overall than what it was previously or what it is really now. Because, like I mentioned, we didn't get any changes to that service, as far as quality and online connections with this new price jump. Really, the new content, including the N64 games, the Sega Genesis stuff, and this DLC for Animal Crossing, that's all fine and dandy, but I feel like it's not enough, and I've always felt like it's not enough. But here's the crazy thing about this, and you probably all know where I'm going with this. What's crazy is that even with all this new stuff, quote unquote, okay, with all these other games that you're going to be able to play that are retro classics, it's sad to see that some of these things are just not running well when they're emulated on the Switch Online service. Even crazier is hearing and seeing the stories play out about Ocarina of Time just being completely messed up. And then I saw the thing about Mario Kart, which is just like, so again, I'm jumping all over the place. You could probably hear my laughter behind my voice, right? What's funny is that I saw some gameplay and I saw some videos shared on Twitter and a few other spots where, one, you couldn't save right in Mario Kart 64, which is crazy because technically, even though the game is older and that it says that it's detecting a controller pack, it should still detect the memory or just the space that you have on your Nintendo Switch in order to save your game or save Ghost Trials and stuff. But then I saw the emulation for Ocarina of Time and I saw comparison videos of this. And it's just so disappointing. It's so shake my head worthy with how much Nintendo botched this. It's just insane because you would think that their biggest game on the Nintendo 64, a first-party Nintendo game, that's their baby pretty much, that they would be on their P's and Q's and have everything pristine for it, especially for games like Zelda Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 8, and any one of these other first-party Nintendo games that you're getting with the N64 collection for the Switch Online Pass. That's just unacceptable to me. That's just all over the place. And then even worse is the fact that you can't even remap the buttons on some of these games, if not all of them, from my understanding from what people have told me. Because I'll be honest with you, and I've said this before, I didn't get the Switch Online Pass out of principle since day one this entire discussion started. But I'm seeing the reactions to all of this, and I'm just almost laughing a little bit because, one, it shows you that a lot of people are really hypocrites because they were complaining about this price point beforehand on social media, but yet a bunch of these same people dived in on it because they want to support Nintendo, and I get that. But at some point, even as a diehard fan, like I am a diehard fan of Nintendo, much like I am a diehard fan of gaming, but as a fan of Nintendo, at some point you still have to draw a line in the sand and be like, listen, this is unacceptable. This is not good. This is not cool. So people have failed to really take a stand on this, and look what happened. Right, all these other problems, granted, nobody else knew about these because we didn't play the games up to that point. But now that, besides not sticking to your morals about the price point, then now you have all these other things to deal with. So it sucks because there's going to be a bunch of people that dive into this online expansion pass for the Switch Online. And this is going to see a bunch of people just diving into this, and nothing's really going to change. because people really fail to speak with their wallet, which is sad. We always hear this thing about people speaking with your wallet against companies when they're unhappy and stuff, but very seldom do you see like mass groups of fans or just customers or just consumers in general really do this, with a few exceptions, of course. But with Nintendo, it almost feels like the same people that are complaining are almost never doing anything to change things up. So it's kind of sad and it sucks because I want to see the online service for Switch Online do good. I want it to be something on par, if not better, than what we get with PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live. I think we all of us that really care about this stuff really want to see that happen because it's Nintendo and they have a lot of great stuff that they could do. It's just they haven't really either gone to it or they decide not to, and it's a shame. But anyway, the other thing too that I looked at with the Sega Genesis games, because I hardly ever see people talk about the Sega Genesis collection because there's only really one talking point, is that while it's cool to have those games, all those games are offered on a better Genesis collection overall on other various platforms, including the Sonic and Sega All-Stars collection, or not Sega All-Stars, but the Sonic's Genesis collection, which to me is the best Genesis compilation, period, as of late. And then there's also the other one that came out on multiple platforms on PS4, PC, that has not as many games as the Sonic one, but still has all the games that you could get on the Switch Online service, plus more. It's just crazy and goofy to me. So that's probably why you're not hearing a lot of people talk about that stuff, even though I guess the emulation is supposed to be okay. Again, not a lot of people really talking about it. But really, the main focal point and the main thing that I want to say about Switch Online expansion is this. This is a prime example of when people were supposed to really take a stand, as consumers and be like, hey, we're not sure about this. We think it's overpriced. We don't think that the content and the stuff is really handled all that well. And people are just not straight up doing so. Which is a shame because like I said before, it feels like things are not going to change unless people really kind of get vocal with Nintendo. And the only way they really understand their consumer base besides the hype and the social media posts and stuff is if people stop diving into their service like this, or they stop buying stuff or buying into stuff like this, I should say. I'm all tongue twisted because I'm doing this in the morning and I'm kind of just doing it off the cuff, like just rambling and talking about it, right? So anyway, will I be checking out the Switch Online service expansion anytime soon? No. I'm just enjoying right now. I'm looking at the sidelines, with a cup of tea or coffee in hand, just looking at everybody just kind of complain about this. Because it is kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. It is a little bit funny. But here's hoping that things change up, that things get a little bit better, and hopefully Nintendo could change up how they do stuff with this service or maybe offer something a little bit better. I even said before when this came up in conversation, why don't they make that Animal Crossing DLC a full game and offer it as something that changes dynamically every month? It won't be as good as PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live where games are gold or the PS Plus collection, but at least it'll be a step in the right direction. And it'll be from Nintendo because they could offer a Nintendo first-party game or maybe work out some deals with some third parties or something along those lines. At least to get to a point where we're going in the right direction. We're going towards the North Star in some way. But I digress. Anyway, those are my overall thoughts about everything going on with the Switch Online expansion pass. I know there was a little bit of rambling here and stuff, but I'm curious to see what you all think about this. Leave me a comment down below in the comment section. Like the video, of course. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more episodes of JJ's One Man Podcast like this. Also, check out my new video reviews that have been going up every single week, guys. I've been posting up a brand new, highly edited, highly produced video review on various different games. The one I just put up this week before this episode of the podcast went live was my episode on BioShock 2, which I'm pretty sure many of you out there that love first-person shooters will definitely get a kick out of it. So I got BioShock 1 and BioShock 2 both reviewed here on the channel right now. Go check it out. Go show it some love when you can. Anyway, I will talk to all of you again very soon. Peace out and stay epic, everybody.